safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming of such a winter stay. All the leaves are
Test? Okay. So welcome everybody. This is not yet the full General Assembly. This is the extraordinary General Assembly about the amendment of our bylaws. My name is Tomáš Žibar. I'm the Secretary General. This will be a rather short affair, after which you will still have a chance to get a break. So we are now opening the session on the adoption of these articles. You've seen them. I filled your spam box throughout the year with many messages about that, but it is a very important step by which we are updating our articles for the future. If you haven't clicked the link, the second link in the election website for the articles, you have still 2 minutes to do that. After that, the voting closes. A short summary of what these changes are about, although we have of course discussed on many other occasions. We are basically updating them to comply with various requirements of the Belgian law, for which we have a deadline this year. We are including the English as a working language, which is actually the reality. We are updating the terminology of the various bodies. We have also updating the list of various categories of membership that we have, because we have not only individual membership, we have future lawyers, we have, of course, honorary members, we have collective members, so we are expanding on that to comply with the reality. We are updating them with the electronic world, because the previous document was more about longer deadlines about paperwork, about delivering documents on paper. So there is a new language on electronic communication and online meetings. We are updating the list of sources of the income of association to include sources like sponsorship, merchandise, etc. We are specifying the member expulsion procedure, which of course we do not intend or be kind of eager to use, but it's a standard thing to have. We are allowing for concurrent election of Secretary General and Treasurer, as has been a problem in the past that we needed to wait out a year when the change occurred in both positions. We are specifying a term of 2 years for the Commission Presidents and Vice Presidents. We are shortening the convening time for the General Assemblies from 2 to 1 month, although 15 days is the minimum under Belgian law. We are allowing an individual member to vote by power of attorney for one other individual members. And we are amending the financial year of the association starting on 1st of April and ending on the 31st of March. So that's just a short overview on that. I think around this time The voting is closed, unless there is any discussion point about the articles. So we now make a 10 minutes break. Sorry for the very short session. We look at the electronic results, we report the outcome, and then we proceed to the general meeting. So we are meeting at 50 again here. Thank you very much. You are free to leave if you want. Okay, everybody, so we've got the results in. So I'm happy to report the outcome of the voting on our new amended bylaws or articles of association. We got for the resolution on adoption of the amended wording of the articles of association, we have received 104 votes, out of which 101 were in favor of the proposal. Then granting powers of attorney to the Bureau for the implementation of the resolution passed, the coordination of the articles and the completion of any formalities regarding the agenda, 105 votes, out of which 102 in favor. So I'm happy to report we've got new articles of association, and let's hope they will serve well our association for many years to come. I also take this opportunity to thank the team helping to prepare this, in particular Jean-Philippe Arroyo, our Honorary Secretary General. The Elections Board of our association, formerly the Elections Committee, the Bureau, of course, Vicky, and the whole AIJA team, as well as external Belgian Council that supported us in it. So, and now we can move to, this concludes our Extraordinary General Assembly, and we are ready to go for the General Assembly. Welcome. So,
Morning, everyone. But Thomas did not say that we increased the age limit to 50. Dear delegates, dear officers, dear past presidents, Terry Abalea, François Barré, Horacio Bernandez Neto, Javier Costa, Wiebe de Vries, David Fröhlich, Paula Fotokowska, Saveria Lombo, Dirk Nitz, and Anita Schlepfer. Welcome. Was in alphabetical order, not in any other order. Dear honorary members, dear representatives of the IBA, Jamie Carey, UIAE, Ettore Petroselli, IPBA, Fernando Huarte de Mendes, ABA-SIL, Patrick Goudreau, and ABA-YLD, Joe Ban. Dear members, I would like now to invite Horacio Bernandez Neto to tribute to a passed away president, Christian Dierig.
Allow me, please, to speak from here. I think that I was chosen to say some words about Christian Dierig because I'm the oldest, and I have the sensation of being the oldest guy in town this week. So probably I'm going to go to a home for elderly, something to have the impression that I may be young again. Congratulations for this conference, and I just wanted to say that I met Christian. He was president 20 years before me, 18 years before me. But when I joined the IBA, I met him, and he was one of those very typical AIJA members, very happy, very committed to the association, and very committed to the AIJA spirit. But what I wanted to say about Christian is something that should be, and I hope that it is, in the files of this association. Christian Dierig was the guy who has invented SPACE, which is the Secrétariat Permanent d'Échange des Stagiaires, which is a service that the AIJA has provided for many years, in which stagiaires would be exchanged by law firms. We were talking yesterday about receiving students in the association, about encouraging students to come to us. I think SPES was already at that time the first attempt to obtain this goal. And the fact is that I have met many stagiaires that were exchanged in the AIJA conferences, in the AIJA work from one firm to the other. So I leave you the inspiration of Christian Direk in relation to the space. And also I must tell you that Christian is known by the people who met him, older people than me. He still have many friends that have been able to collaborate with him. He was also the first guy that had the idea of expanding the AIJA to the United States and to America. At that time, the AIJA was specialized in Europe. There was no goal of the AIJA to go abroad. It was something for the Europeans. And it was Christian Direk who decided, together with Thierry Garbi, which some of you may know, to start to exploit the United States and to bring the AIJA to the United States. On top of them, he was, until he died, a very important maritime lawyer. He wrote one of the most relevant books on maritime insurance in his jurisdiction. And he really has 3 children. His wife is still alive. She wrote us, the old president, to inform that he was dead. And I kindly ask you to pay 1 minute silence for Christian Direk, our ex-president. Much.
Can I? Okay. So now we have the address of the power leaders. Here we go. Okay, my turn, sorry. So now we have the welcome address of the bar leaders, so I would like to invite our dear guests from the Sister Association, and first to speak is Jaime Carey, Vice President of the International Bar Association.
No, yes, hello. It's a pleasure to be here and also to speak after Horacio. Horacio was a former president of the IBA, and I hope to be following his footsteps. As he said, he's maybe the oldest here. I always say, you know, age before beauty, so that's why I'm second after him. No, but this is my first time to AIJA. As I mentioned in the last timers lunch, I've really been impressed by this organization. The attitude of all of the members, the stamina, the enthusiasm really has captivated me, and from a personal perspective, I'm going to get some of my young partners from our firm to join as soon as I get back to Santiago, because I really think and I will have to explain to my partners that it's not just partying, it's a lot of work. I think you should change the program. When it says to 3 in the morning, it doesn't look that good to sell this to the senior leadership of law firms. No, I'm just kidding, but it's really been a fantastic experience. And I'm here to see if I can entice you as well, once you reach 45 or even earlier, to join the IBA as a following career. The IBA today is probably the largest international law association. We have over 80,000 members, and it's very unique in the sense that it brings together bars and private practitioners. So it's a combination of two worlds, the world of bar leaders and bars and law societies, and international practitioners, law firm members, international firms, as well as another aspect of academics and judges. So it's really a very complete span of different types of practitioners who are involved with the organization. We have also introduced the group membership, which is for law firms to be able to become members, which gives the advantage for a fixed fee to be able to have all of the members of a law firm become members of the IBA, not having to pay an individual membership. And that gives you access to the web pages, to all of the materials that are restricted to IBA members. So that's also a very interesting advantage. So I really would entice you to continue a career in the IBA. If you need any help as to where to join, what to do, how to get around, it's a complicated organization. Our annual meetings are between 5,000 to 6,000 lawyers, so it's quite an impressive event. I must admit it took me about 6-7 years to figure out at the beginning how to move around the IBA, and I sort of feel envious of my partners that I had to go through this learning curve, and for them it's become much easier. But you will have a lot of friends if you join the IBA that can help you in this endeavor. So if you need any advice, if you have any questions, I'll be here, so please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.
So I invite our next speaker, Ettore Botticelli, President of the National Committee for Brazil of the Union Internationale des Avocats, UIA. And Dirk Knutz, alongside with him, our former president and an officer of UIA.
Good morning. What a wonderful event. It's amazing. Before I start, I'd like to ask you all another round of applause for the organized committee and for AIJA, because you had the best of Rio. Amazing. Congratulations. UIA and myself, we are more than honored to be here during this week. It was fantastic. What an environment and an atmosphere that we could exchange knowledge, that we could know a lot of people around the globe, and also to have a lot of fun. So congratulations. It was an amazing experience. I'm gonna also share with my colleagues at my firm to join AIJA, because it's an amazing association. And for me as a Brazilian to be here in an event of AIJA and in Rio, it's fantastic. And for those that are the last timers, be sure that you had the best of Rio, the best that you could ever had. And I take this opportunity to invite you all to also think about joining UIA, the International Lawyers Association, União Internacional dos Advogados. We are in a great association, a sister association of AIJA, very close to AIJA. We have the same structure. We have an amazing environment that you can know people from more than 110 countries. And it's a relationship that you can create a very deep relation with some people that you would never imagine that you could meet. So please, if you have any questions, I'm available to speak and to clarify any doubt. Our annual Congress is going to be held this year in Rome in the end of October. We have special fees for those from AIJA that are reaching the age limit that they could join AIJA. And we have several committees that goes from litigation until management of law firms and young lawyers committee. We also have UA Advanced that allows law firms to join UIA. And one other interesting aspect of UIA, we have a mentors program that allows for more experienced lawyers to help young lawyers and to assist them how to develop their career and their skills. So thank you again. Congratulations for AIJA, for the Bureau, for the organizing committee. Thank you for inviting us, and I hope to see you in Rome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just wanted to add a few things. So first of all, AIJA is the best international lawyers association in the world. But the problem with AIJA is that you have a fixed expiry date. And yeah, that's a big problem. So then you have to choose after AIJA where to go to. And I am a member of IBA. I'm a member of IPBA, ABA section of international law. But I'm now in the President's Council of the UIA. I'm a president of the LGBTQ plus committee in the UIA. And what is fun in the UIA, it's very, the style, as Ettore already explained, is very similar to AIJA, with also a lot of fun, very inclusive, so there's no exclusive parties. Like last year we had our annual congress in Senegal. We had a beach party with Youssou N'Dour, who is famous from the song 7 Seconds with Nina Cherry. She was not there, so it was only 3.5 seconds, but it was very nice. And we have, that's also one thing I wanted to say about UIA. A lot of people think it's only French. In my time at the beginning in AIJA, when I was member in 2001, at first time everyone thought it was a French association. It's also not true, as you know. UIA is the same. There are 3 official languages, French, English, and Spanish. Our current president is Spanish, next president is American, from the United States. And we have a lot of seminars, like this year we had Sports Law Commission in Kuwait, was only in English, but sometimes seminars like in Marrakesh this year, sponsored by the Marrakesh Bar, Morocco Bar, was mostly in French. But the big congresses, there's always simultaneous translation. So don't be afraid, it's not only in French. Of course, the 5 biggest countries in UIA, there are 110 different countries in UIA. The 5 biggest, is France, but there's also Germany, there's Italy, there's the United Kingdom, and since last year, because we organized a seminar in Algeria, we have 200 members from Algeria, so they're also in the top 5 now, but that was not foreseen. But, well, they are very welcome, of course. So thank you. And Brazil now also. So thank you very much, yeah, congratulations to the Bureau for this Congress and to the organizers. I have done all the congresses since 2004, except Singapore last year. This is one of the top congresses I've ever seen in AIJA. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're shifting the order a bit. Can I ask Patrick Goudreau, the Deputy of the Chair of American Bar Association International Law Section, to join us?
Hello, my friend. Thank you very much for this warm welcome. I'm so pleased and honored to be here to represent the ABA seal and the chair, David Schwartz, and all the 12,000 members that the ABA has. This section of international law is a part of the big ABA where there's over 200,000 members. The section of international law is the special one for international, meaning that at least half of the percentage is non-American and welcome over 100 different countries. So it's the place for you and it's the place for us. Already AIJA has a room in the universe of the seal. We already have the AIJA brunch that we do at the end. We have the AIJA after party. We have the AIJA panel. And what we'd like to do more is to help you to be able to be a speaker outside the AIJA letter of an understanding. So we will come up to September 15, the proposal to be speaker at the next annual Congress that will be in Washington, first week of May. And we put in place a special group that will help you to fill out the form, understand the way to be able to achieve the result, to have a panel, to be a speaker. And so if ever this interests you, please come to see me and I will put you in contact with this team that we have to help you. So welcome in your next life in the ABA seal. Continue the wonderful Congress in Rio, thanks to the Bureau and the organizing committee. And let's enjoy this last day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let me to invite Josephine Bahn, Chair of American Bar Association Young Lawyers Division.
The stairs are a bit steeper. Hi, everyone. I'm Joe. I'm a commercial litigator and construction lawyer in Washington, D.C., which I think you'll hear a lot about today. I'm excited to be here with you all to bookend my term as chair of the American Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. Started my year in Singapore, and I'll end it here with you all in Rio. I want to say thank you on behalf of our 105,000 young lawyer members. That's anyone who's an American Bar Association member under the age of 36 or in their first 10 years of practice. We've had a great partnership since 2018, and we've continued, at least in my time, with Anna and with Moritz, and we're looking forward to continued partnership with Eduardo and Cato. It's been a great opportunity to learn and grow with you all. AIJA definitely puts on the best conferences, and I say that after having planned 4 of my own for the Young Lawyers Division, so my hat is off to the OC and the AC this year. Our membership this year focused on going back to basics, providing our membership with the opportunity to meet folks where they are through dedicated programming to increase their skills development and to meet them where they are. So even though I've had the chance to come to Rio and be in Singapore, I've gone to really small towns too. And I hope that you'll let me be that friendly face in the ABA when you join us in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we have Fernando coming right on time. So I invite Fernando Hurtado de Mendoza, Chair of the IPBA Ad Hoc ESG Committee, IPBA being Inter-Pacific Bar Association. Welcome.
Hello, sorry for the delay, I had to take a call. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, AIJA, for this wonderful event. As I mentioned before, it's quite a privilege to be here. I'm very surprised of what you have been able to achieve as an organization. I love your attitude, I love your energy, I love your companionship and friendship, and I think whenever you leave this association, you will take that with you. So I'm here on behalf of the Inter-Pacific Bar Association. We are an association of more than 1,200 lawyers. It was founded in Japan in 1991. Although it was oriented towards the Asia Pacific, the truth is that we have become quite global. We have lawyers from more than 60 jurisdictions. On average, we have lawyers between 30 years old and 75. We are really friendly. We have a number of committees, more than 20, on very traditional areas of law and also very innovative ones. I encourage you to evaluate whenever you need to migrate on our association, IPBA. I think it will be very interesting to you. But more than that, I would encourage you to, whenever you need to leave AIJA, that I think for all of you is going to be very sad, to really take the AIJA spirit wherever you go. Because AIJA doesn't leave you. You need to take AIJA to wherever you go and take that spirit, and I think that would be a great contribution to wherever you decide to go. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now we move to our agenda. So here you can see on the screen, and I will not read it out all, but to give you a picture what's ahead, this is our agenda for the rest of the today. One item we have is the approval of the minutes of the General Assembly held in Singapore last year. So this one will be also a part of the resolution that you will be approving electronically when the respective window opens in 15 minutes. And now we go to the reports. And I invite our dear Mr. President Moritz for the report at the end of his term.
Many thanks, Thomas. Before I start, I'd like to make an announcement. We just heard from Joe apparently a lot about DC. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because the annual Congress after Madrid in 2025 will be hosted in DC. Serving this year as your president has been an immense honor. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the extraordinary members of our beloved association for their endless dedication. This past year has been nothing short than inspiring for me. As I mentioned back in September 22 in Singapore, it is time for AIJA to refocus on its core value, bringing people together from all corners of the world to unite and build an engaged community of young international legal professionals. Fast forward today, almost a year later, I think we can proudly reflect on the tremendous strides we have taken together as an association. So let's take a closer look at some of the standout moments of this beautiful last year. And yes, there are more than 3. Events record. Since our Congress in Singapore, we have organized 18 events across 13 countries in Europe, in the Americas, and in Africa. Around 1 out of 5 attendees joining these events is always a first-timer. And I'd like to welcome these first-timers here again. Welcome to an amazing association. But most importantly, let's look at the people behind the achievements, the dedicated OCs, the dedicated ACs, the AIJA Brussels teams. Our success is a result of their efforts. Please, a round of applause for these amazing people helping this association. "60 and still young." AIJA turned last year 60. Last December, 230 plus members from over 30 countries gathered in Antwerp to celebrate our diamond anniversary. For those who had the chance to attend this event, it was a very memorable, amazing, unforgettable weekend to celebrate AIJA. And I particularly remember talking to rather older members even members before I was born, and they told me about events before I was born, and that was very impressive, and it sees that the spirit, this AIJA spirit that we talk about, has been there, is there, and will be there. Spotlight. Although I'm a very big fan of in-person meetings, AIJA is very present in the digital world. For the third year, AIJA has launched a podcast series called Spotlight AIJA. This year's season focused on efficient law firm management, and our guests shared experience with AI, talent retention, and building resilience in a world of constant change. I had the pleasure to join the introduction episode, during which we shared experiences about, of course, business development, one of my favorite topics, networking, and raising a profile as a young lawyer. Thanks again to all the guests who made it happen, and thanks again also to the host, Larry Markowitz, who led these episodes. This year's 5th episodes got more than 1,100 downloads from 60 countries. And yes, if I listen to them, I never get really used to listen to my own voice. AIJA stands for human rights, and we stand for human rights. It's one of the parts of our articles. Our commitment to defend the fundamental principles of human rights and the rules of law is and will always be a lighthouse of our activities, and is devotedly handled by our Human Rights Committee. We organized together with the UAA, the ABA-CIL, and the IPBA the 3rd Rule of Law Webathon Week, and presented specific topics on these interesting themes. Moreover, during the half-year conference in The Hague, we took the delegates to the Peace Palace for a very interesting and great attended session on the International Criminal Law Institution of The Hague and their role in combating current crimes against humanity. The keynote speakers shared us very interesting experiences about their experiences in the International Criminal Law Institution. And one question really struck me. It was from the audience asking the keynote speakers, how can we help? And they replied, well, we need manpower. If you, in your sabbatical, want to do something else than traveling the world, happy to help us and happy to help our work. Maybe something to think of. I mentioned the digital presence. AIJA's online and digital presence has been growing thanks to the active role of our members. In 2022, last year, our LinkedIn account increased by 4,000 members and reflecting our growth rate of 33% plus. AIJA has received for its work the European Digital Communication Award, and in the same month we went over 20,000 followers. A big round of applause for the Brussels teams, because of them that we received this award. Home sweet home. You all know how close the winter seminar is to my heart. And yes, this is not the opening ceremony, that's why I'm now allowed to speak about M&A and about the winter seminar. And this year, somehow the stars were aligned, and even now, as I'm talking to you, I get goosebumps. It was with immense pleasure that I had the chance this year to open and join the gathering of 130 friends in Davos for the M&A Winter Seminar this year together with the International Arbitration Winter Seminar. Why was it so special for me? Well, first of all, it was in Davos, Switzerland. It's a place where my parents taught me skiing, or rather me lying as a little boy on the slopes, shouting at my father because his ski didn't work, and my mother was somewhere else because she didn't want me to see. But in overall, it was a very good memory being in that venue. Why the Winter Seminar? The Winter Seminar has been invented by the M&A Commission and is an amazing opportunity to network, to do personal development and also business development. And all that during my year. So now I can say 3 is the magic number. It was beyond amazing, and I'm more than grateful that I was there. Well, that's it. I even have a little bit more time. I thank you for your trust. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute to AIJA's growth and to serve as its 61st president. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I kindly ask Anna Wyrzykowska for the report of the outgoing president.
Is it working? Yes, it's working. Dear friends, I will be more chaotic. I will say that up front. I will be more chaotic. It's very emotional for me, but yeah, let's give it a try. From all those years in AIJA Bureau, first as treasurer and afterwards as first vice president and president, last year as immediate past president was, I think, the calmest, most predictable, stable, also thanks to work of the Bureau and Moritz. And we can definitely congratulate ourselves that the turbulent times of the pandemics and fighting for sustainability of our finances and our operations are finally gone, and we can say that we walked through it with dry feet. And it's all thanks to big efforts of all the Bureau, extended Bureau members, all officers, Brussels team, and all members that continuously supported us throughout those years. Now, my last year at AIJA Bureau started after annual Congress in Singapore, which you know that is a very, very special in my heart. It was a Congress about the future of the legal profession, and it was a tremendous success, both financially for the association, but also content-wise for our participants and our honorable guests. Thanks to the hard work and really bold vision at that time of the OCs and ACs, the value of this event was also confirmed thanks to the presidents of all the international associations in the world. And from where I stand now, I can say that organizing this event in the times when nothing was certain required from everyone, specifically OCs, not only bravery and leadership, but also costed us many renunciations. And I would like to thank, again, the whole Singapore crew from the bottom of my heart that they made it happen. And I will stay forever grateful for that. Thanks. Now, it's an AIJA's tradition that the immediate president assists the other Bureau members in their activities, in their functions, but mainly focuses on human rights, working closely with Human Rights Committee. So I would like to thank the Human Rights Committee for this last year of brainstorming and our bi-weekly meetings. We had an occasion to bring a new perspective to human rights and also draw our members' attention to human rights in business. I congratulate Silvia and Clara for delivering great sessions throughout the year, specifically at the half-year Congress in Hague, and also for allowing me, business lawyer, to work with them on a new, very successful format of the HRC meeting, which had a very nice attendance in Hague. And yes, receiving very good feedback for our members. I'm also grateful as well to have worked this last year with AHRC, with Human Rights Committee, on the Rule of Law Webathon. Already for the third year, we are involved together with UIA, ABA International Section, in preparing the global initiative. It's been a pleasure to work with other associations and hand in hand discuss important matters in that respect. I had the pleasure also to moderate one session about defending democracy and what the associations can do in that respect. The other panel was moderated by Clara. And at this occasion, I would like to invite you to check our Webathon platform on YouTube, because those sessions are recorded, and it would be really good if we could continue these initiatives and support bringing the content and raising awareness with respect to human rights. As IPP, I was also actively working on preparations of our anniversary. As you mentioned, Moritz, this event was also a great success, also because we could invite our alumni and our honorary members and celebrate together this at this great occasion. We really hope that we will build on that, and we will continue to, at least once a year, create an opportunity for our past members as well to join current members and network. Finally, throughout the year as IPP, as immediate past president, I worked for AIJA on straightening the relationship with other associations which are here present, and thank you very much for your presence. So I was contributing as AIJA president to the works of the Young Lawyers Committee at IBA. In March, I participated also and contributed to the program and the session of Young Lawyers Career at the Congress of the IPBA in Dubai. And finally, in May this year, I have also participated in the Congress of ABA International Section when we had our joint event and when we were invited to present AIJA to the whole ABA International Section leadership at their leadership retreat. We are very thankful that the other associations are welcoming us and inviting us to contribute to the program, because we think that it also creates a great opportunity for our members to enlarge their network, to meet their colleagues from other associations, perhaps wanting to be involved there after their life at AIJA. Now, at the end of this very long experience at AIJA Bureau, I wanted to say you one thing. We feel at the Bureau that we have made this whole circle. When I started as a treasurer, taking up from Lara Vivas, we actually were already seeing that results of the associations are positive, and we finally don't need to struggle with financing our operations. We can think big, we can travel, we can go to locations in which we want to invest in the network. But then, when I decided to run for the position of the first vice president, and then I was elected, as you know, coronavirus hit us and basically killed all our operations. So yes, together with Francois, with Paola, we were striving to be back, to be active, to create all opportunities that we have, using Francois' skills in social media, obviously, that we can stay connected, that we can nevertheless propose to our members the content that, irrespectively of the fact that they are in their homes, we can still be together. And then, yes, and then we learned that we actually can back into our regular activities, we can have our events, but we needed to reinvent that. We have had our great Congress in Zurich, Morris was involved, but it was a hybrid Congress. It was the first time the legal association of our size was bold enough to organize hybrid Congress. We were really putting, the first steps and whatever we did in that time. And then we learned in Dubai that yes, we're back, we can enjoy, the presence at our events, we can finally meet up. But then Delta variants hit us, then Omicron variant hit us, we were on and off. We actually couldn't even have our Brussels dinner in December. So the time when I was working at the Bureau indeed was quite turbulent, not to mention that when we finally realized that we can get back to our regular activities, well, the war in Ukraine started, which also put my attention elsewhere than AIJA's operations, or rather, I tried to focus that also us as AIJA members, we can also help anywhere we can. And now, now we are back with this whole full circle, also in Rio, which is an emotional congress to me, because I remember how we had to cancel it, how we needed to think when we can get back to that idea. So not only we are here and we are having a great congress, but also an association is really in a good shape. And we can finally get some rest. But I would like to ask you not to stay just here. I'm happy to leave after those 5 years. We have struggled a lot, you know it. I've been working with all of you, and I want to thank you for that. But please don't stop. We can only grow with this approach, with those competent people in the Bureau, Extended Bureau, all officers, with the help of all the other associations that are here. And we are really counting on your help, of your involvement, because, again, there are many things that do not need to be reinvented. We just need to put our attention to it and be determined in perhaps changing something for the future. In Singapore, which was the Congress about the future of the legal profession, I told you that the future of the legal profession is with you. And I'm happy to repeat that, and whenever you will meet me, I will repeat that. It is really the future of the legal profession that is sitting here in this room, and please don't ever forget about that. You can use AIJA platform to grow, and please grow, but please make sure that you also make a change for the future, inviting other members, inviting other lawyers, inviting those who are perhaps not even, they don't even think just yet to become a lawyer, because we're doing here amazing, amazing stuff. So please don't stop, because we have all the room now and all the capacities to grow. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna. Now comes the sad moment when we are acknowledging our overaging and outgoing members. First of all, this is an impressive list of many friends we know who served in AIJA for many years. Lots of hard workers, hard partiers, hard networkers. So please give them all a round of applause. And now we have a special group of people we want to acknowledge for their particular contribution to the association. And I'll read this long list. It's Agata Adamczyk of Poland, Owen Cassidy of Ireland, Sylvia Dahlberg of Sweden, Jérôme Debras of France, Guadalupe Diaz-Sunico of Spain, Isabel Öst of Germany, Thilo Pachmann of Switzerland, Jan Pecoraro of Italy, Benedict Roorsen of Germany, Peter van den Broek of Belgium, Alex Watt of UK. Please give them a big round of applause. And now come the nominations for the honorary members. Anna, please.
Switcher? No? Yes, thank you. You. Yes, of course. So the first person that we wanted to announce as being proposed for the General Assembly to accept as our honorary member is Thomas? Elina Jimmy. Go, girl! Thank you so much. But I haven't said why. Just yet. Elina, what we wanted to say is that we all know that you're a devoted member for many, many years. You have been involved in organizing a lot of our events. But what we specifically appreciate in the work that you do is that despite of an in-house council function for many years now, you are with us and you're actively contributing to our program. You always have a very wise and very reasonable advice that you shared with us, that you were kindly enough to to give us when we needed, and for that we are very grateful. Thank you so much. We hope that you will still contribute as, yes, specifically in your role, because that's also something that we want to perhaps improve, our in-house council's presence at AIJA. I mean, it will not be my work, it will be these guys' work, but still we count on your support in that respect. Thank you so much.
Yes, now it works. This is what I would like to say from my side. Even if you step into in-house shoes someday, don't give up, because AIJA is actually something you can use in your in-house life very much. So all the work you have been investing in this network while you are with a law firm, you definitely can use afterwards. That's the takeaway from my side.
So, another candidate, the one that often I get confused with, a long list of activities. 2014, Congress in Prague. 2016, Skill Vice Presidency, the President of the Skill Commission. Seminars in Prague, Ljubljana, Zadar, Sofia, Warsaw, Hague, Belgrade, and many other. Last but not least, a founding father of SBMC. Let me introduce Stefan Howitt.
Thank you, AIJA. I really appreciate that. I have to say that I have never worked for anything else than for my own law firm. So it was very difficult for me to actually know what is work of international lawyer, what does fixed fee mean, what billable hours mean. All those things were totally unknown to me. I was so happy in AIJA to learn all this international knowledge, all this standard knowledge, something that everybody should know when doing. I was so happy to meet so many lawyers from all around the world, and I really believe that AIJA helped me to become an international lawyer. I would like to thank you guys for all of this, for sharing all the knowledge and teaching me all this. Thank you so much.
The next person the Bureau suggests to become honorary president is a person that has been unremembered, Entschuldigung. Well, yeah, he will never become an honorary president, that's true. Is a person that has been a vice president, has been a president of a commission, has numerous speaking slots during events, has organized numerous events, is a person that is rather known as Rainer Kaspar. Before we give him the stage and the time is ticking, obviously we are talking about the M&A Commission, but not only that, I think the entire Commission and also many other members learned a lot from Rainer when it came to business development. I personally learned how the actual game of business development works from him. He's a wild-born, he's pushing mountains. It's sometimes challenging working with him. It was not always a walk in the park, but we made it happen, and I'm very happy to consider him also as a very good friend. Rainer, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a sad week for me, although it's a great week. Yesterday, Marie and I said goodbye as the president of the M&A Commission. Today, I'm appointed a honorary member, or maybe it's still a proposal, but let's hope that goes through. It's been an amazing ride. Thank you very much for having had me. I will show up at certain specific events in the future, and I hope to see you all and have a glass of wine at the gala dinner. Thank you very much.
So, it has been very well documented in AIJA that the only reason I was elected vice president of this association is because half of the members of this association confused me with this person. So, I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. You see? You see? This validates the point. National reporter, general reporter, national representative, regional representative, commission vice president, commission president, co-chair of a half-year conference, co-chair of the National Representatives Committee. Always with a smile, always generous, and willing to extend a hand, always brilliant. A fantastic lawyer, I think we all agree on that. An even better friend, for sure, we all agree on that. He did all for AIJA, its litigation commission, its national representatives, and the global footprint of the association as a whole. It is one of my greatest honors and joys to submit on behalf of the Bureau to this illustrious General Assembly the recommendation to approve the designation of Arnoldo Lacayo as honorary member of AIJA.
Thank you, my friend.
And now, a few words.
Thank you, friends, and thank you, Eduardo, my brother from another mother. We are all lucky to be here, and I feel particularly blessed to have been a part of this association for the last 15 years. I often think back to the fact that Stephanie Reed, a friend to many in this room, invited me to join AIJA, and Saverio Lembo, who's in this room, encouraged the partners at my firm to support me in coming to this wonderful association. So thank you all. It has been a pleasure. I hope this will not, of course, be it. I will continue to see you all continue the great work that you do for our beloved association. So thank you all.
And the last person that the Bureau would like to suggest as being appointed honorary member is actually someone who went to his first event in the Amsterdam Congress in 2011, just like me. Since then, he has been the vice president, then president of the Trade Commission, and acted as an OC for several events and seminars. But most of it, he was the co-chair of APC from 2019 till 2022, which is basically during pandemic times. And well, he has to do the very hard work to postponing, then canceling events, but also to completely revisit our model during that period of time where we could not meet. So this is my pleasure to propose Babak Taveshan.
Thank you. My journey started 12 years ago. I met a young guy named Arthur Stussineves. Francois, he didn't have a beard, you know, for the protocol. And now I'm here. He's co-chair of this fantastic congress. He has his beard. And there is no better place for me actually to age out than here in Rio. It's been a fantastic journey. I thank you all. It's really a pleasure. Thank you so much.
So now I invite our Deputy Treasurer, Caroline Barr, for her report.
Since I'm there. Well, good morning, everyone. Let's start with The report for this past year in terms of finances. And actually, well, let's have a step back on this 2022. Well, you already heard from the previous reports that this year has been, well, back to before COVID and beyond, because actually Maurice told you already, there have been more events in 2022 organized by AIJA than there was before 2019. So this is a good thing, of course. This is a very good thing. Well, of course, because this is our purpose, to make people meet and to gather and network. So this is basically what we are working for. In terms of finances, of course, it is also a good thing because, as you know, our finances are based on two pillars, which are the membership and the events, because events are also a way for us to receive the income that we need to operate. So having more events is, of course, an opportunity to have more income, but it's also basically an opportunity to have members, because the more you go global, the more you give people opportunities to meet in different places of the world, the more you make sure that your community can grow. So, second thing that was still very pregnant in 22, well, no, that's the French word that I use, which is absolutely not accurate in English. So, the second thing that is really, the second important thing for 2022 was inflation. We all know that. I mean, it's a basic thing that we all know, but it impacts our finances, of course. It impacts our events budgets. It impacts our operating costs. And, well, we all know that it exists, and we have to work with that. Two things that were really, well, good things in the end for 2022 were that, first of all, we had our three main events outside the Eurozone, because we were in Gothenburg in May, then Singapore in August, and Edinburgh in November. And, well, that could have impacted our finances in a bad way, but it turns out that it was a good thing, because the exchange rates were favorable to our accounts. So that was the first good news that we had compared to when we drafted the 2022 budget. And the second good news that we had is that the Singapore Congress did an amazing result. I mean, it's been one of the best, financially speaking, and other that we already know about the results of the Congress, one of the best ever, because we had an OC that did an amazing job, and we had the full support of the Singapore Tourism Board that really helped us, and they confirmed a few weeks ago that although we were not as many as we would have expected, although we could not have all the criteria that was set that were met, well, they would support us and they would give us the full financial support they had promised originally. So this led to a very, very exceptional results in terms of finances for 2022. Speaking about numbers, so the income for 2022, as you can see, well, since we had way more events than 2021, we had really a huge increase in the events revenue. Membership fees were also growing compared to the year before, which led to more than 3.2 million revenues for the association. The expenses also raised, of course, because when you organize an event, you have revenues, but you have costs as well, so that makes sense. And as you can see, the expenses for 2022 were, in the end, lower than the income. So that leads to a profit of 113,000 euros for 2022. Please let me remind you that in our budget, we had planned to do minus 130K. So this is really an excellent news. And, well, that shows that when we draft a budget, we try to be realistic, we try to be secure, and sometimes, well, we can expect on good things to happen, and that was the case for 2022. Just to give the focus on the results of the events for 2022, as you can see, well, all the events were globally positive, which means that there has been a super job done there by all the OCs and the team. So you have the auditor's report, because you will have to vote on that during well, at the end of the General Assembly. So you have it, of course, well, they assess that everything is fine and that we are working in a professional manner. Now 2023 so far. What we can see is that we still have a strong membership engagement. I will not go through the membership numbers because that's Thomas' part, but you will see that we're still growing. And we're still also growing in terms of attendance of our events. So far, we have reached outstanding numbers, record of registrations for some events, and The Hague was a perfect example in May. We also had amazing attendance seminars. So the trend that Anna described earlier and the potential that our association has is confirmed in the first part of this year. What have we been doing so far? We have been working on costs, both the fixed operational costs, but also the events costs, because we absolutely want to make sure that events remain as affordable as possible, and to make sure that, well, young lawyers can attend, because that's basically our purpose. So we've been working on that with the team, but also with the different OCs. And we also have been working on finding new tools to reduce the impact of exchange rates, because 2022 was a good news, but I mean, that's not sustainable to just rely on potential good or bad news related to exchange rates. And I would say it's even more important than what we know is that we want to go more global. So if we are going more outside Europe, then we will have more and more events that will not be in the currency euro. And so we will be even more dependent on what the result of the exchange rates could be. So we will work with Curaçao team for next year. They will be the first ones to use a new platform which is called eBury that allows us to avoid this kind of surprises in the end. And maybe Mexico will also have the opportunity to use that platform. So that's a way to at least be able to predict more where we go when we draft a budget. We've been also working on increasing annual sponsorships. What are annual sponsorships? Because I know that not everyone knows that it exists. Well, we've been working with the team in Brussels to set annual sponsorships where firms, or not firms, but actually our suppliers, the people who want firms to become their clients, can support us throughout the year. So we have elaborated a few packages, and the Brussels team reaches out to potential sponsors to have them with us along the road for the whole year, which is a way, well, to be a bit more secure when we draft a budget for the year to come, because we already know that we have people who are with us, but also to reduce a little bit the pressure that OCs might have when they organize an event, because we know that getting sponsors is always a tricky thing, and it's a hard thing for lawyers, because that's not what we used to do, and we don't like going to see our friends to ask for money every time we organize something. So the idea is really to, year by year, increase those annual sponsors, and so to be able to have this, this community that helps us every year. And we have started to, well, we've worked on the revised budget for 2023 that I will present right afterwards, and also the budget for 2024. And keeping in mind that our main aim is to make sure that this association is accessible to young lawyers. We still have challenges. Inflation is still there, especially in the hospitality sector, that impacts our events budgets every time. We still have long-needed investments that are executed this year, especially My AIJA. The new My AIJA system is going to be released this year, so that's also costs that will help us on the long term, but that will be for 2023. And, well, that's more an accounting thing, but that will impact the budget I will present to you right afterwards. You've just agreed with the new bylaws, and among the changes, we will switch to 1st January, 31st December to 1st April, 31st March, which means that this financial year will not last 12 months, but 15 months. And so that means basically 25% fixed costs more, but we will not have 25% revenues more, because the membership fees that will be sent out in January will be allocated to 2024 and not to 2023. And in terms of events, from January till March, we only have 2 seminars. So you can imagine that 2 seminars will not cover 25% of the fixed cost of AIJA. So all in all, we will present you revised budget for this period of time that will show losses, but it's most of it related to this 15-month period of time, and as you will see, the budget for 2024-2025 will be profitable again, because the trends are good, the numbers are there, and it's more a matter of, this allocation of this 3 months cost. So you have here the revised budget that is presented to you for approval during this General Assembly. So you have the lines of the incomes that should be around 3,700,000. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we try to assess in a fair way, but that can move and change in the actual life. And the expenses should be around 3,980,000 euros. Which means that all in all, we are presenting a revised budget for 2023-2024, so this 15-month period of time, of losses of 280,000 euros. I really want to make clear that, to me, it's not a concern, because AIJA is really stable and is sustainable financially. The profits we made last year and the profits that we expect for 2024 are good, and you should not be concerned by these amounts that are presented today. So what to expect for 2024-2025? Well, an uneven budget, because we have good trends, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of attendance and results, and these annual sponsorship efforts that has started to be made. The memberships that are proposed for next year are the same as for this year. And the budget for 2024-2025 should lead to a result of a profit of 96,000 euros. Status of AIJA accounts up to, well, to today, actually. We are at almost a bit below 1 million euros on our different accounts. Well, as you see, we have different kind of accounts. We have the operating accounts that are used for the day-to-day operations. We have the reserves, and also we have the amounts that are dedicated to our actions like scholarships or SOS Avocat. This amount is quite a stable one. Today we had to, well, recently we had to make some payments for Paris coming. So it's a little bit below the 1 million that we are used to have, sorry. But it's still in the same range of amounts, and the cash flow has never been an issue for AIJA over the last months. So you will find in your My AIJA the proposals for approval of the 2022 accounts, of the revised 2023 budget, of the 24 budget, and also for the appointment of the auditors for 2023, and the new membership fees for 2024, which are, as I said, the same as 2023.
So I will try to challenge Maurice on shortness here. Short report from my side as Secretary General. So just a reminder of the elections that are currently ongoing. Your third voting window is now open to vote on the resolution of the General Assembly. So of course you can continue voting on the candidate of the first Vice President. Then Caroline, that's of course Cato Arts, the candidate, and for the Treasurer, Caroline Barb. Then we have 21 candidates for the Executive Committee, for whom we have 16 regular spots and 2 spots for a 1-year term, which have been vacated, so that voting is still ongoing. And then we have the resolutions, some of which were already mentioned by Caroline. So just a recap of those. And some interesting numbers about our membership. As you can see, 2023 is a record year up to this date. So we have compared to year 2022, we have 400 more members. So that's excellent, and I think we can all congratulate ourselves and the organization for this growth. And let's hit the 3,000 number very soon. And now, I hope it wakes up. So the country competition. The superpower of Switzerland still holds the reign with 302 members, Germany 205 members, UK 161 members, Netherlands 153 members, and France 139 members. And now I would like to invite the co-chairs of the National Representatives Committee to present the appointment of the best national representative.
So, here I am with my AIJA voice. Welcome to the... So this year was really tough to pick the best representative. Some that hadn't even been that experienced within the association before being appointed, and some even on maternity leave proved to be incredibly active as representatives, did an amazing job, so it was really difficult. That being said, we would like to emphasize that the representative that we are awarding comes from a small country, for now still with somehow small AIJA membership, But this didn't keep this person from doing really great things for AIJA. In a way, we consider this award as a reminder of how important it is to help us grow the AIJA membership, particularly in these smaller jurisdictions. Especially, we wanted to have a truly global AIJA. So, without further ado, we are delighted to announce that the Best Worldwide Representative Award of 2023 goes to the local representative of Serbia, Sinisa Čulivić.
Hi everyone, I hope that you can hear me from my, like Fernanda's AIJA voice. I'm very happy, grateful and humbled by this acknowledgement. I feel that AIJA recognizes and rewards every effort, at least that's my impression. In the first year of my term, I wanted to bring Serbia and AIJA a little bit closer to each other. I wanted to share my extraordinary experience with AIJA with my colleagues in Serbia. So right after the Congress in Singapore, I organized a small webinar with one of the speakers from Singapore who I met there for the members from Serbia, which was very well received. And I hope to do that more often. So if anyone would be interested in sharing their own experience or knowledge with the members from my region, I invite you to reach out to me and to do the same in your countries. This year, I was very happy and proud to welcome the Secretary General, Tomas Ribar, to the Advocacy Days of my Bar Association, which is basically a birthday celebration of our Bar Association, and where we both spoke and spread the word about AIJA, made a lot of connections with and in front of representatives of different bar associations and international organizations like FBE and UIA. This was the first time that AIJA representative took part in this event. Next year we have 3 commission seminars in Serbia to which I invite you to come. And this will round up the first phase of my term where I just wanted to, as I said, bring closer AIJA and Serbia, and marks the beginning of the next phase in which I would push for membership and more members in Serbia and try to get some more members in other countries in Balkans regions where we don't have any membership. As Moritz predicted last year, AIJA did change my life, and I really want to help it change a bit more lives in my region. So, and I also want to remember one thing. One of my professors told me once that there are rewards that you earn and then you get them, and there are some rewards that you get and you get to justify them and earn them after that. So I will consider this one as the one I'm yet to justify and earn, and I hope to do that by the end of my term. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. And now we make a adjournment of the General Assembly for half an hour. So we meet at 45 when we use that time to process the election results, and you can take a coffee. Thank you very much.
basically it's the same. We go on 8 or 9, and the rest is just not the time for gym.
Are we ready? So let's restart again, and I invite our academic coordinators for Rio to report to us.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of all the AC, who are we after a long week, we would like to say a few words on this year's academic program. When we started the preparations a year ago in Singapore, we set ourselves a distinct goal. The program should allow attendants to enter into meaningful discussions with their clients on topics that dominate the business. It should empower delegates to become thought leaders within their field of law, not because they know the law, but because they've practiced and participated in deliberate horizon scanning with hundreds of other members. The idea was for us all to take into account the fourth dimension, time, when thinking of legal problems. During the year, we found we had set quite an ambitious goal. Trying to explain to lawyers that they have to proactively identify upcoming issues was indeed perhaps already too much to ask. But daring them to make a prediction without any caveats and without endless lists of assumptions really tipped some of us over the edge. I must admit that at some point I was expecting at least one of the participants of the panels to mention that their insurance wouldn't cover them going on camera and making predictions, but luckily we were spared that. But the process that we as ACs found ourselves in the end, is a testament to the true colors of the lawyer. We are cautious, we identify risks, and we think of worst-case scenarios. So we needed to change our perspective.
So with the right mindset and with ample preparation, all the participants, session coordinators, moderators, and speakers have entered into the biggest experiment that we have had at an AIJA annual congress. We mapped out current or future issues of clients, and we made sometimes super bold predictions on how these issues will be solved, either by the law or otherwise. We've heard about speakers addressing the challenges related to the use of newer technology. Super clip about a rapper whose name I forgot. We've also heard about the challenges that companies will need to overcome to develop and implement sound diversity programs to make diversity a concrete part of their corporate culture. We've addressed the climate change policy, and we have examined how we could try to reach the path to net zero in transportation. We've discussed about future employee payment methods and a lot of super interested subjects, a lot of super interested predictions. But in order for an experiment like the one we proposed to the session coordinators to succeed, you need to meet 5 requirements. The first one is observation. Second is question. The third is formulate hypothesis. Fourth is act using a good methodology. Clearly, we've seen that into practice this week. We've had tantalizing questions, super well-prepared methodologies, hypotheses to come to answers, very smart observation by the participants. And then you wonder, what about the fifth requirement?
The result, yes, the result of all the things we have done within this Congress is our time capsule. We will put in there a recording of the highlights of this year's academic program. There we keep our common shared legacy. We have seen the participation of hundreds of young lawyers who played a key role in our amazing sessions. These young lawyers, you, will be the legal stars of the future of your law firms and the future of our beloved association, because, you know, we are AIJA. The predictions arising from our giant legal think tank here in Rio de Janeiro will be shown at the AIJA Congress in 2028, probably when most of us will be over age, but still supporting the association. We will open the time capsule, and I hope that the outcome that will come out of our time capsule will inspire the future generation of lawyers. These young lawyers of the future and our older selves will learn if for once lawyers were able to shake off their reactive, cautious disposition and use their thinking power to be visionaries. And if not, at least we will have some video material for the fancy haircut we had in 2023. Or maybe, Paolo, for the two of us, we will be surprised of how much hair we had in 2023 before joining the Bold Commission.
This year has been a challenge and a gift for us as ACs. We worked hard, we left a lot, and we found each other in our ambitious plans for a new way of dealing with academic content. It was a real solid group of people. I particularly had the opportunity of working with bright minds, witty personalities, hardworking people, and loving hearts. And of course, we discovered a new career path in writing movie scripts and acting in front of the cameras. We as ACs have also adopted a very clear path for the academic program. We were committed to promoting diversity and balance on the panels. Diversity for us meant lineups with men and women, old-timers and the usual suspects of the panels, and newcomers too, native and non-native speakers, as well as people from Europe, Americas, Asia, and Africa. We have encouraged session coordinators to act proactively and invite speakers to compose the panels and not only wait for people to volunteer. We were conscious that cultural differences and the social pressure on women might impact the freedom and the comfort of speakers to raise their hands and volunteer for the panels. We ensured that session coordinators knew that building a diverse and balanced academic program required effort and consciousness. The results are tangible. 52% of the speakers were women, 48% were men. AIJA decided to promote a seminar in Kenya earlier this year. We managed to have 2 speakers from Kenya traveling a long distance to join us in Rio. This is AIJA Going Global, Eduardo de la Peña. Visibility in AIJA was not only a guideline for the panels. We have had the opportunity to learn with speakers from diverse cultures, genders, and backgrounds. They were here to talk about their areas of expertise They were here to talk about their studies rather than talking about diversity itself.
We as AC are super conscious on time, and we've run out of our time, I appreciate. But we have a few people we would like to thank, so please bear with us. We couldn't have done this without the amazing AIJA team. Oreste, Anna, Miri, Fanny, Chloe, Vicky, and JJ. They were kind enough to hide their disbelief when we presented our plans, which ran the gambit from coming on stage in the DeLorean to hiring Ronaldo. I mean, it was insane. Thank you so very much. Usually you say you couldn't have done it without you, but we really couldn't have done anything without you. Thank you so much.
That's not it. Thank you again, but this time to the Bureau. You gave us free rein to try to really live up a dream. It's not a dream, but it was really a topic that was really, it was really dear to us, and you let us kind of go with it, even if it was a bit weird at the beginning. We hope we didn't disappoint and that you liked the end result, for those of you who showed up to all the panels. We thank Moritz, Mr. President, for having assigned us this super hard but super joyful task of taking care of the academic program.
We would also like to thank the organizing committee for the support and trust. They've done an amazing work in promoting such epic Congress in Rio. And this pushed us hard to develop an academic program that could balance the unmissable attractions of Rio and the think tank where we shaped the future of law. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Felipe, and all members of the organizing committee.
And lastly, thank to all the participants for joining us in this crazy experiment and on our journey through time. Thank you all.
The floor is yours for the incoming President's address.
Suspense. Dear AIJA friends, dear distinguished guests, many thanks for joining us here today or tuning in today. Following the good practice of my predecessor, I will focus on 3 items. Item 1, AIJA's legacy. Item 2, the AIJA spirit. And item 3, AIJA's destiny. I will just add one request from all of us at the end. So, legacy. Let me start by showing you one of my favorite AIJA pictures. It was taken exactly 1 year ago in Singapore, in the eve of election of the first vice president in Singapore. Some of you might know the gentleman to my right. His name is Malcolm McNeil. He, besides being a very avid James Bond collector, true story, Malcolm, like me, lives and practices law in the Americas. Malcolm was president of AIJA exactly 23 years ago, from 1999 to 2000. I show this picture today because until a few minutes ago, when the voting closed, Malcolm was the last of AIJA presidents coming from the Americas. We have come a long way as an association. So the first thing I want to do today is to thank Malcolm and other trailblazers like him that have paved the way so that me and many others like me can call AIJA home and build a professional practice around it. Let's then please give a round of applause and gratitude to AIJA's presidents that honor us here with their presence. They are in the front row, please. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. It is now our responsibility to create the conditions so AIJA and its members will not have to wait long for the next AIJA president from the Americas, from Asia, or from Africa. The AIJA spirit. We are in Rio. Let me repeat this. We are in Rio. We all received in our inboxes on April of 2020 this message. This is a message from our dear president at the time, Paola Fudakowska, informing us that as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic and its far-reaching impact, our Congress in Rio will not be able to go ahead as planned on August of 2020. 3 years later, we are here. We have come full circle. The AIJA spirit is in Rio. AIJA today is stronger than ever, healthy financially, with more members today than before the pandemic, and a full slate of events and initiatives. So the second thing I want to do today is thank the Bureau that led us through the dark times of the pandemic, keeping us afloat, the current Bureau that has guided us in the association's second life post-pandemic, and the AIJA team that has seen all and done all these past 3 years. Thanks, Paola, Francois, Xavi, Emiliano, Jean-Philippe, and Anna. Thanks, Moritz, Anna again, Caroline, and Thomas. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, Fanny, Oreste, Chloe, Miri, Sophie, Anne, and everyone that has helped us from Brussels. As I said before, we are standing on the shoulders of giants. Please, a round of applause for all these exemplary first people. AIJA is no longer in survival mode. AIJA is back on track. It is now our responsibility to keep it that way. What is AIJA's destiny? Global AIJA is our destiny. Whether you are a solo practitioner or in-house counsel, whether you are a lawyer in a small or mid-sized firm, whether you are an attorney on the biggest of law firms, there's one thing that we all have in common. Everyone, every single one of us, needs a network. It takes a village to build a legal practice. AIJA must be the village, the home, the network, the voice of any young lawyer in the world and across the world. 90% of AIJA's membership primarily practices law in jurisdictions that represent 10% of the global population and less than 25% of the global GDP. Our job then, our mandate to date, is to change the map, is to create a sustainable model that positions AIJA's brand as a global brand, that empowers our members, our commission officers, and our extended bureau officers to make global AIJA a reality. A model that incentivizes the organic and scalable growth of the association in every region of the world. and creates a robust and solid global network for each one of our members wherever they are. Let me emphasize this. When I say wherever they are, I mean wherever they are. Always mindful of preserving the fundamentals and metrics of successful event organization and planning. I was AIJA's treasurer after all, and more importantly, I want to stay in speaking terms with Caroline, our dear current treasurer. AIJA members will be empowered to organize regional meetings, seminars, half-year conferences, congresses, and initiatives on a global scale. I will make a point very early to speak with the commission officers of each one of our commission and ask two simple questions. Question number one, what are your plans to enhance the global reach of your commission? Question number two, how can we help? AIJA started the past year more than 15,000 kilometers away from here, in Singapore. And on the way to Rio, AIJA visited Europe, the Americas, and Africa. We will not stop. During the next 12 months, we will support events in Western, Central, and Eastern Europe, in North America, in South America, in the Caribbean, in Asia Pacific, in the MENA region. We will create the conditions to return to Africa. And I want to make a pause here because I see all these beautiful yellow jerseys. I want to thank the OCs for pulling this. I mean, organizing a Congress like this it's a daunting challenge. So I want to make a promise to the OC that the AIJA journey in Brazil will not end here. It will start here. Thank you. Yes, we will meet our members where they are or around the proverbial corner of where they are. AIJA will be global. AIJA will think global. And I apologize for not being clear and giving us a false warning at the beginning. So, the third thing I want to do is to thank every single AIJA member from every corner in the world for their trust, for your trust. I'm almost done. I promise. So I said at the beginning that I was going to have just one request from every one of us. And the request is very simple. Let's all together be brave this year. Let's all together be bold this year. If we are together, if we are brave, if we are bold, then, yes, we will finally and for good change the map. My name is Eduardo de la Peña, and the honor of my life will be to serve you as AIJA's president. Thank you.
Thank you. So now the announcement of the results of the elections and on the resolutions proposed to the General Assembly. The Executive Committee members, starting reading from the highest number of votes. Caroline Ford, 300 votes. Annelies van Oom, 293 votes. Louisa Saint-Denis, 284 votes. Evin Durmaz, 283 votes. Clara Gordon, 283 votes. Giacomo Paili, 273 votes. Michelle Lindholm, 271 votes. Laura Coat, 266 votes. Eva Indruchova, 263 votes. Maria Baranovic, 246 votes. André Modesto Pinheiro, 244 votes. Artur Stussi Neves, 242 votes. Felix Bart, 241 votes. Bartosz Kurash, 237 votes. Manuel de Amici, 235 votes. Edvinas Meskish, 235 votes. These are the 16 members who have a term of 3 years. Now we have 2 more members who have a term of 1 year, replacing those who have overaged or resigned. Ewout van der Leek, 232 votes. And the last one, Karsten Otto, 229 votes. Now we have other candidates who are slightly below the line, but just please note that we still might have some resignations because of the double-head policies later in the month. So we will then report individually whether there will be further of the candidates moving up the line. Woo! And the elections of the first vice president, so I am happy to confirm that our dear candidate Kato Arts has been elected as our next first vice president, and the numbers of votes are here. 362 votes. I'm also happy to report that our newly renewed treasurer, Caroline Barb, got also elected, and the number is 363 votes. Okay, just a second. So as a consequence of this, we have a new composition of the Bureau to report. So President Eduardo de la Peña Bernal, First Vice President Kato Arts, Immediate Past President Moritz Maurer, Treasurer Caroline Barb, Secretary General Tomáš Hribar, and the new announcement, Deputy Secretary General Dino Serafini. I also take this opportunity to hand over to our dear immediate past president the certificate of the honorary president.
Thank you so much.
And let me invite Kato to join the table. Okay. I also have a formal duty to also confirm that the resolution of the that were proposed to you have all been approved. So we have the approval of the minutes of the General Assembly, 48 votes. Sorry, 58 votes. Go up a bit. Approval of the final accounts 2022, 58 votes. Approval of the revised budget 23-24, 57 votes in favor, 1 against. Approval of the budget for the following financial year 24-25, 57 for, 1 against. Appointment of the statutory auditors for the years 23-24, 58 for. Approval of the membership fee for 2024, 57 yes, 1 against. Discharge in respect of bureaus and statutory auditors' activities for the financial year 2022, 58 for. Appointment of Anna Wierzykowska as honorary president, 57 for. Appointment of honorary members, 59 voters for. So that's the full list. And now we have the summary of the new extended bureau members. Just a second. Academic Program Committee, Marine Simoneau. Officers of the Commissions Committee, Marie Brasseur. National Representatives Committee, Omar Al-Helou, Jakob Nortoft. Human Rights Committee, Michelle Segers. Diversity Officer, J.R. Fichter. And now the appointments of the presidents and vice presidents of the commissions. Antitrust Commission President Karen Rubak, Vice President Alexandra Jurkowska. Banking and Finance and Capital Markets Commission Yuka Nakanishi, Vice President. Commercial Fraud Commission Co-President Adam Flax and Vice President Michel Wiesner-Lamet. Okay. Okay. Corporate and M&A, just a second. Co-President Milena Czarnicki, Co-President Hugo Teixeira, Vice President Alexandra Ologu, Vice President Marco Gardino. Intellectual Property and Technology, Media and Telecommunication, Vice President Eliane Haas. International Arbitration, Co-President Giovanni Angles, Vice President Nadia Olof-Smahi, Vice President Jacopo Piemonte. International Private Clients and Family Law Commission President John Davies, Vice President Miriam Fögeli. Labor Law Commission President Philip Hyman, Vice President Sanne van Rutenbeck. Litigation Commission Co-President Chiara Caliandro. Skills, Career, Innovation, Leadership and Learning Commission President Aline van During, Vice President Zoya Gyurova, Vice President Katarzyna Randzio-Sajkowska. Tax Law Commission Vice President Clemens Wilfonseder, Transport Law Commission Co-President Lucas Leite Marquez, Co-President Davide Canepa, Vice President Jan Hermeling, Vice President Camilla Sögaard-Hudson. And now the new national representative, local representative, regional representative, and regional coordinators. Austria, for the national representative, Austria, Rafael Valenta. Chile, Tomás Kubik. France, Romain Francetti. Greece, Eleni Skoufari for another year. India, Ankit Palea. Lithuania, Ernesta Giogiene. Netherlands, Brian van Egmond. Norway, Carl Christian Martinussen for an extension of 1 year. Panama, Gabriela Vasquez. Portugal, Francisco Martins Caetano. Romania, Mihaela Ciocirlea. Sweden, Christopher Mangelus. Ukraine, Sofia Bruciak. Local representatives, Costa Rica, Elia Naranjo Morelli. Curacao, Sebastian Barton. Israel, Adam Salkin, extension for 1 year. Kenya, Brian Obama. Paraguay, Manfred Hein. Singapore, Sebastian Blasius. Uruguay, Alejandra Garcia, extension for 1 year. Regional representatives, Germany, Karen Pappenfuss for the region of Northern Germany. Switzerland, Lorna Sella for the French-speaking region of Switzerland. United States, Christine Concepcion for Florida. And the new role of regional coordinator for the region of Middle East and North Africa, Hannah Al-Khatib. So, I heard there is something special coming up.
Sorry, guys, but we can't close this General Assembly just like that. This association didn't just organize a memorable Javier conference in Poland just by itself in 2018, or had record-breaking financial figures in 2019 without the leadership of a strong and capable treasurer, or was able in 2020 or 2021 to survive this pandemic without a badass vice president or president, or organize its third annual Congress in Southeast Asia in 2022 without this force of nature woman, or come full circle in 2023 in Rio without someone's strong support and guidance. We just can't close this General Assembly like that. So we have prepared something special for a very special person that has changed the life of many of us.
Dear Anna, you did all for AIJA. Organized a Javier conference, served as deputy treasurer, first vice president, president, immediate past president. So after all you did for AIJA, we thought that the least we can do is embrace the Anna challenge. How to pronounce Anna's full name. Here we go.
If you think Worcestershire sauce is a hard thing to say, try Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna's last name as well. I mean, Anna, my treasurer, the next treasurer after me, Anna
Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Anna W. Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna. See, there's only one Anna.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowski. Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska. Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska. Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Wyrzykowska. Anna Wyrzykowska.
Anna Maria Magdalena.
Wyrzykowskaja.
Anna, wow. Anna Whiskey-kowska?
Thank you for your values. AIJA has been in the right side of history, standing with Ukraine thanks to you.
You've been an amazing treasurer and president for AIJA, and the association is very lucky to have had you.
And thank you very much for all you did for the association.
I love Anna because she brought AIJA back on her feet after COVID times, and this was not easy.
The two traits I most associate with you are personality and professionalism.
I love Anna because she's a great ambassador of AIJA. I also love Anna because she has such nice long speeches.
You are an amazing leader. To me, you embody leadership, and I will always think about you as an example to follow in my daily work.
Girl, I love you because you're such a big soul. You're such a sister to me. We have so many beautiful memories with you. You're such a rock and roll person.
Something not many members know, but Anna and I share one passion for Anna.
She rocks as a president and as a friend.
Thank you, Anna, for everything you have done and your dedication. Paldies.
I love Anna because she's always driving when she's on a call.
She's tough, respectful, and caring. Anna, you're absolutely amazing, and we love you.
A woman strong, with vision bright, leading with style, where dreams take flight. A friend who stands through day and night. AIJA's grace, a guiding light.
Thank you very much for all the effort that you have put in this organization, and even in joining forces with us to expand AIJA in the MENA region and the Middle East.
Thank you so much, Anna, for having made it possible to hold the Congress last year in Singapore. It's also thanks to you.
I love Anna because Anna is a super dedicated person. She's dedicated to her career, she's dedicated to her two wonderful daughters, she's dedicated to AIJA and all of her friends within AIJA. And that is a very rare combination, she's also a super fun person to be with.
Thank you for being at the helm through all the ups and downs since 2018. You're a very engaging person and a perfect ambassador for AIJA.
I love Anna because she cares. She cares about people, she cares about AIJA, and she has been able to keep believing in amazing things even in complicated times.
You probably don't know it, but you empower people. You are giving me the right push to empower myself.
You're such a good friend, and a friend is someone you share things you like together. And I don't think there are many things to like as much as AIJA and what it implies.
Anna is a super tough real estate M&A working mom lawyer. She really knows how to get a deal done, and we first saw it in Warsaw and then in Singapore.
We love you because you love AIJA. I love Anna because of her great sense of humor / stupid jokes, how creative she is, but also that she's a real warrior when things get tough.
Just a great sense of humor.
I love Anna because she's outstanding, committed, terrific person, and truly AIJA. But most of all, because she's polished, and maybe she has a Mexican twist.
She's also a badass with a lot of courage and who really dares to lead, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for that.
I love you, Anna, because you are a truthful friend. You have been a just president for our association. You're a kick-ass lawyer, and you definitely know your way around the dance floor.
Dziękuję, Anna.
Gracias, Anna.
Mulțumesc, Ana.
Obrigado.
Ďakujem, Anna.
Grazie, Anna.
Thank you so much.
See you soon, my friend.
Paldies.
Thank you, Anna.
Obrigado, Ana.
Muito obrigado.
Te pup mult, Ana.
شكرا كتير كتير.
Thanks so much.
We love you, Anna Wirzikowska.
Dankjewel, Anna.
Danke tausendmal, liebe Anna.
Merci, Anna.
Merci, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Grazie Anna.
Grazie mille. Dankjewel, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Muchísimas gracias.
Dziękuję bardzo, Anna.
I will not get to the podium, don't worry. It's like no more long speeches. I'm very happy that I'm in the country of Sepultura. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So this concludes the agenda of this General Assembly. Thank you very much for the attention. Thank you very much for the childhood errors I make in my first General Assembly. And see you all in Madrid and also in many other events before. Thank you very much.